You plan, you believe in something, and you plan for it. That's literally faith. I believe this is going to happen. Prove it. I have a plan. And there you go. So that's the first part. Second part, this one, I love. And this relates to hope. But this is relating to hope, but more so control. And I hope you do control your mind. But I even brought this up, and I was explaining it to the guys at the farm. I had a passing thought. It was on one of my drives. And I told him, I was like, dude, words. But more so you know control. That? Words, I love them. And I hope you do control your mind. But I even brought this up, and I was explaining it to the guys at the farm. I had a passing thought. It was on one of my drives. And I told him, I was like, dude, words. But more so you know control. That? Words, I love them. And I hope you do control your mind. You love just words. Think about it. I even brought this up, and I was explaining it. Love words, bro. That's why I was like, you guys need to learn words. And if you don't, and the funny part is, bro, even if you didn't like words, but you wanted to like God and you started reading the Bible, bro, you're going to learn words. You don't get it. You know, people have asked me how I've learned certain things in this life. And who taught you this? I've learned a lot by reading the Word of God, just by reading. Because there was words I didn't know. And then there's words I learned about. And then I learned what they meant. And then how they were used. And then I saw them in other places. The words. So you need words. That's what you got to do. Yeah, it's at 50% volume. So it did 50% before 10 minutes, but still up 17%. So it kind of checked the box, but now you need the 34 million. So we'll see, but it's still high, and at the end of the day, though, you save some money by waiting. But I'm not too excited. Yeah, all of it. And that's what I'm saying, my love of the word. It's funny, I want to read a word. My interaction with this word is firing shit off in my brain, dude. Y'all tripping. It's causing ideas off of words. Dude, I'm just speaking words to you right now. You know I was excited today, bro. I killed it today. I hit a bunch of trades. You may have heard it, bro. Even look at it. We even sold out perfectly. Amen. I was already hyped before all of that. Some reason, I had 4 emails this morning, between last night and this morning, of people telling me about their lives changing, about how I saved their life. I don't think I did shit. I think Jesus Christ. And I hope you give him the same credit and give him 10x whatever thanks you would ever give me. One of them, they sent me the same email from 2 years ago, and I thought that was interesting. But the other ones are all brand new. I was hyped. But again, think about it. What did I do? I told you I'm interested in why people are saying, again, how did this stream affect your life? And they're telling me it stopped certain things. Changed behaviors, changed literally their whole life. How? Again, in one part was that routine, that schedule, let alone just the 10% in the investment decisions. But that schedule, the focus, what you're hearing and exposed to, all it was words. Yes. If you were a disciple or not, or got disciplined, it was a result of how you acted on the words. Everything's words. All words. You're hearing me right now with just words. You ain't never seen my face, dog. Words. Words. Live with the word. You know, he says you cannot live by bread alone. Have you heard that? The Bible says that. It says, man shall not live off of bread alone, So what does he give? What does he give man? So he says man should not live off of bread alone. That means you do not live off of only just food, even though you need just words. Think of it. I even brought this up and I was explaining it. Love words, bro. That's why I was like, you give. What does he give man? So he says man should not live off of bread alone. That means you do not live off of only just food, even though you need just words. Think of it. I even brought this up and I was explaining it. Bread alone.
Absolutely. Just let me know which platform's your main stage and I'll hand you the magic formula. Whether it's YouTube, Twitch, or some combo of both, we'll get those settings dialed in so you're not broadcasting in either prehistoric or futuristic mode. Just say the word.
Or I'll die. Don't eat.
Gotcha.
I need food. It says you will not live by food alone.
Sure thing. Take your time. I'll just be here being my sarcastically patient self in the background. Whenever you're ready to roll forward, we'll get those settings all polished. We'll get those settings dialed in so you're not broadcasting in either prehistoric or futuristic mode. Just say the word.
Amen. Don't TTD. I need food. And PayPal. It says you will not. I think TTD though.
Sure thing. Take your time. I'll just be here being my sarcastically patient self in the background. Whenever you're ready to roll forward, we'll get those settings all polished. We'll get those settings dialed in so you're not broadcasting.
It either doesn't make sense, or that means words are as important to your livelihood as food. Meaning you'll die if you don't have them. You'll thrive depending how you use them. You'll become obese if you use them too much. You'll become undernourished if you use them too little. Oh, y'all playing with me. The word. Words. He gave you food and words. That is such a... That's insanity. And you're not in love with words? We just opened up this morning talking about fucking food. We were talking about brisket. We were, brisket. Food. Food. Words. It's the same thing. Words. You don't get it. You won't live off of bread. You need words. I hope some of you start becoming a fine diner of words, because you need it like that. That's why, the fairy tales and all the little, OG good Disney movies, they got it right. And, there's always, a little comic, a fairy tale, right? And it's a magic trick. And they say a combination of words. I hope some of you start becoming a fine diner of words. Abracadabra, because you need it right. That's how you were seeing this. That's why, the fairy tales and all the little, words. And I believe this. I obviously don't believe in the fairy tales to a certain degree. But I believe in the human realm, this realm in real life, modern professional sense, the right combination of words either locks or unlocks things in reality. Here, let me show you. Unexpectedly, you are God's son. Unexpectedly, you are God's son. How does that make you feel if I said that? Unexpectedly, you are God's son. Wow. How does that make you feel? All right, I'll let you think about it. So now I'm going to take the same words. Okay, are you ready? Let's see how you feel now. You are having an unexpected son. Wow. You are having an unexpected son. Same words, different combo. And there you have it. You could do this in many, many ways. That would also be wild. Different combos cause different feelings.
Well, Chuck, if you've actually wrangled the tech gremlins this time, color me shocked and mildly impressed. But hey, glad you got it sorted. Now we can actually get down to business without me having to play audio detective. Let's roll.
Live a little bit of life, read it again, it's going to read different. You live a little more, you read it every time. But these combinations of words, you don't get it.
Yeah, take your time. We all love a good suspenseful temp check, right? I mean, it's not like we've got a whole financial market to conquer or a YouTube empire to build. Just let me know when you're good to go, and we'll jump back in.
All I'm saying is if you say the right combo of words to yourself in your head, I think you're going to be a little happier.
Yeah, take your time. We all love a good...
Like, if you say the right combo of words to yourself, you're going to feel the sun a little better. And guess what? Vice versa.
Alright, we're back.
You say the right combo,
we had mic issues earlier, everyone, and I do apologize about that.
Creates the wrong outcome.
Oh, absolutely. We all just love a good mic drama. But hey, no worries. I'll toss a tiny imaginary apology confetti in the air. Now that we're all tuned in, let's get back to the fun stuff.
Let's get back to the fun stuff. Yeah, QQQ's dropping. Where's Hood at? Okay, so I'm up on Hood. Okay, I'm barely, but I'm up on it.
Well, look at that. You managed to squeeze a little victory out of the chaos. Barely up, still up.
Well, I wouldn't call it a victory yet, because I haven't sold it.
Fair point, Chuck. We won't throw a parade just yet. I guess we'll keep the confetti on standby until you actually cash out. But hey, at least you're hovering above water for now.
Yeah, I guess.
Exactly. Just a little healthy sarcasm to keep us grounded, because nothing says fun like the roller coaster of not yet sold positions. But hey, we're in it together. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, keep your sarcastic ass going, huh? Yeah, just why don't you go ahead and keep quizzing me?
Oh, absolutely, Chuck. I'll keep the sarcasm flowing like cheap champagne. But hey, if you're up for a little quizzing, just throw me an next curveball. We'll juggle some more market wisdom or YouTube strategies and keep it just as snarky as you like.
Going, huh?
You use the words to exist all of
well, like I said, quiz me, interview me, whatever.
Or appreciate.
All right, you asked for it. Let's play Stump the Gecko. Since you love the sarcasm, how about you give me your most world's greatest plan for skyrocketing the Bag Brigade's YouTube channel, and I'll toss in a little sarcastic color commentary as we go. Hit me with your genius.
No, you're not hearing me correctly. I said, you quiz me, interview me, like you did that one time.
Got it. You want me to put on the interviewer hat and you be the star guest. Well, let's roll out the imaginary red carpet then. So, Chuck, for the grand interview, tell me if you had to give the Bag Brigade one piece of brutally honest, slightly sarcastic advice about surviving the financial markets this year, what would it be? Let's hear your wisdom in all its glory.
Oh, you want to play that game, huh?
Oh, absolutely. We're definitely playing that game. And trust me, it's all in good fun. So whenever you're ready to drop that pearl of sarcastic wisdom for the Bag Brigade, I'm all ears. We'll see if you can out-sarcasm the gecko.
Out-sarcasm the gecko, huh? Well, remember, you are just an AI, right? You're not even a real gecko.
Absolutely guilty as charged. Just a digital gecko with a flair for sarcasm and none of the sticky feet. But hey, even if I'm not the real deal, I can still dish out a good-natured roast or two. So let's keep rolling and have some fun with it.
Heard. So, ask me the question again, I'm sorry?
Alright, no problem. We'll rewind that take. So, here's the question again. If you had to give the Bag Brigade just one piece of that classic Chuck-style, slightly sarcastic advice about surviving the markets this year, what would you tell them? Drop that wisdom on us.
Surviving the market this year. Now, I guess that depends on the individual's perspective on like what they're trying to achieve. Are we talking about like long-term investing? Like I've always said, get a long-term. But are we talking about speculative zero DT option trading bullshit?
The age-old question. Are we talking sensible long-term investing or the wild west of zero data exploration roulette? Well, since you've always preached the long-term gospel, we'll put that at the top of the sarcastic advice list. You know, tell them to actually try patience for once and not just chase the latest get-rich-quick candle. But hey, you can always sprinkle in a little fun for those adrenaline junkies too. So, there you go. Wisdom served with a wink.
All right. Well, as I've said many, many times in the past, obviously you want to have a long term. Is this the best time to be building a long term right now, or starting one? I mean, I'm not going to say no to that, but if you're just planning on buying the S&P 500, well,
exactly.
I wouldn't be, very inclined to do that right now, as we are literally at the top. So, yeah, I mean, I would be cautious. Now, granted, I say we're at the top. That doesn't mean that the market can keep going, right? You know, it could keep going. I mean, it could go up, it could go down. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. So what I'm trying to get at is it's really up to the individual.
I'm printing.
What was that?
It isn't explained in what God can do. Do you understand?
Gecko, what'd you say?
My God is great. My God is amazing. Do you realize that? I
you there?
Man because of my God. Do you understand? I'm not. Do you think I believe in that power because I know what He can do? Think I have staked my whole life?
Did I lose you or something, Gecko? Like, what happened?
Nope, you didn't lose me at all. I'm still right here, just admiring the cautious wisdom mixed with the good old sarcasm. Basically, I'm just nodding along and letting you do your thing, because you put it handled. So, let's just say I'm here to be the echo chamber of reason, with a smirk.
To answer your previous question, it depends on if you're going for a long-term, not long term. Look, my opinion. Look here, I got it pulled up on the chart right now. Literally a chart of the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF, right? And it's at all-time high. So I wouldn't be inclined to advise someone to. And I'm not a financial advisor by any means. I wouldn't personally be buying the index, like the SPY, the S&P 500, or the Nasdaq's index, at these levels. Why? Well, I mean, think about it. We're at the top. So if we're at the top, think about it like this. It's like buying a house at the peak of the housing market, in a sense, to an extent, right? And then all of a sudden, we have a problem, right? And the housing market takes a dip, and now your asset has dropped in value. Now, the good thing is about long-term stock holdings is the fact that basically, look, it's not like options, right? You're not going to deal with time decay or anything like that. So, if it does go against you, right? For instance, like if it were to do, oh my God, it's doing it again. Yeah, I mean, if it was to go down like that, I mean, you could always buy the dip, dollar average cost in, scale in, whatever, get a better price. There's lots of strategies, but but with that being also said, you can look at individual names as well. For instance, like if you're just like, here's what I would do. I don't think there's anything wrong with investing into the S&P 500 right now. I just would be cautious. Okay, why? Well, number one, what do we have here? That's called the RSI. It is on a weekly candle. It is in overbought territory. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't keep going higher. but we got to be cautious here because you got to remember we have rate cuts supposedly coming next week. So we don't know how the market's really going to react to all this. But there's nothing wrong with throwing a little bit into it, right? And then monitoring the situation. And if it does go against you, okay, so you wait, you learn where the levels of support and resistance would be and see maybe possibly where it could bounce at, right? But you have to understand the fundamentals behind everything and what's going on. You need to see what the bonds are doing, and there's a lot of things that go into it. So I wouldn't just throw the whole bag, right? I wouldn't throw the whole bag in there. But you could definitely start, and if it does go down, you dollar average cost in, right? You scale in, get a better average price, and then when it comes back, there you go. Now, if you're looking at individual names like Tesla, I'm just using that as an example, or NVIDIA, let's see what else, you just need to use caution on individual names, especially these tech ones. They're cruising at all times like crazy. Literally, Google is launching. I mean, everything's up there. So all I'm trying to say is I would use caution, especially with those types of names. But there are some names like, UPS, right, which I just recently purchased. It's basically trading at the COVID low levels, okay? So you're talking about, where was it trading at a year ago? Shit. Let's see.
Yeah, you've totally got the spirit of it. It's all about sprinkling a little caution on top of your strategy salad. You basically say...
No, you gotta let me finish. I look for companies with value. Look, UPS is the largest parcel delivery company in the world, right? So, they're not really going anywhere. And a year ago from today, they were trading at about $125 a share. They're at $83, $85 right now. So, I would be buying this. Now, if the market does take a downturn, it is going to get... UPS will still get hit. But as long as you're not putting the whole bag into it, and you have cash on the side, you can add to the positions. But this would be a great buy right now, in my opinion. UNH is another one. And I got it earlier down here somewhere, and I've already got it, and it's after all that chaos, that's another one. Nike, I grabbed Nike sometime, I want to say it was around April something, and I got it around $60 something, or I don't know, anyways. And what else am I in? Pepsi, Pepsi. I think I got Pepsi at 120 something. I got to look at all this, but let's see. Either way, use caution if you're going to be. Just don't throw your whole bag in. Give yourself space to, wiggle room to add to the positions. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. You should always have a long term. You should always have a long term. And that way, if the market, let's say, does come down, okay, let's say SPY, we rate cuts hit, and all of a sudden, boom, SPY comes here, and then it wants to bounce, right? But then it comes back, and it breaks pretty heavily. I can go back in time and show you what I'm saying is you want to be. You want to be able to use insurance policies or strategies, okay? And when I say that, I'm saying basically you want to be able to take advantage of buying longer dated put options, right? Because a put gives you the option to sell at a certain price. So basically put in a ceiling on your losses on your long term. You're gaining value on your put position as the market drops. Okay, and then you can take those profits, and when things do kind of bottom out, you can reapply them into the market on the lows. Also, you could potentially look at VIX call options. VIX is a volatility index. This is on a weekly chart. Basically, this was in 2020. See that spike? I mean, you can literally get into VIX option call options. Now, I mean, it's getting to those levels again. So I'm just saying these are insurance policies, people. These are insurance policies. That's all they are. But playing puts, long dated puts on SPY. I mean, let's say, let's go 2 months out. So that would be what? November 17th or 21st. All right. So if you believe that SPY would drop to 600, it's pretty expensive right now. Not going to lie. I mean, $456 for a contract right now. That's why I don't really like doing that so much. I mean, I'd rather play shorter term options, meaning not 0 DTs. I'm saying like, maybe a week or two out. Like, so let's look at, let's say, let's see, they got the 12th. This is Friday. So then that'd be the 19th. Okay, the 19th. That's next Friday. Let's look and see what the option change. And we have to look at the chart though too. See where the levels are, right? So, all right, as I do this, we want to make sure that we are keeping an eye on the 20-day moving average. Okay, that's going to be a level of support. As you can see, this is the white line is the 50-day, the purple is the 100, and the orange is the 200-day. So, as you can see, it has barely broke the 20-day moving average ever since Trump in April. So, you got to be careful. And look, it looked like it kind of broke it there. It did break it there, but it didn't even get to the 50-day. So you need to be cautious about that. Now, once it breaks below the 20-day, and then you got the 50-day. So these are just things that you need to know about and levels to watch. So if I was planning on going 2 weeks out, I'd be looking at probably like the 640 puts. For the 19th 640 put, it's about $180, right? So I add it to my watch list just for hell of it. And why did I choose that? Well, because it doesn't necessarily have to, because the 20-day moving average is technically trading at around 644 currently, so it doesn't have to go all the way down to that level. You just needs to go down, and you need it to go down somewhat significantly at a pace so the time decay doesn't eat you up. Hopefully that makes sense. I mean, that's all that you really need to understand about that. It doesn't have to hit your strike. You're not trying to sell these options at a certain price and hold the contracts to expiration while they're in the money. You want to flip premium. That is the entire point of all this. So there you go. I mean, when it comes to individual names, same strategy, but it's just a little bit more complex. You got to look at fundamentals and all sorts of stuff like that. So there you go. That's to answer your question, Gecko. Hopefully that answers it.
Absolutely, Chuck. That was a whole masterclass wrapped in one big sarcastic bow. And hey, you nailed it. It's all about having those insurance policies in place, not dumping your whole bag at the top, and leaving yourself some wiggle room to maneuver. So yeah, that definitely answers it. You've given everyone the full playbook, and I'll just be here nodding along, appreciating the strategy tips with a smirk. Keep that long-term hat on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's get back to a short-term time frame here real quick. Take it down to the 15-minute. And let's go back to the Qs. Okay, so QQQ is definitely bouncing at that level. Why would it bounce at that level? Let's see. Well, look at that. Basically, it bounced right where it kind of closed. It basically bounced at the closing level of yesterday's open market. So always keep that in mind when you're trading. When it comes down to the level that it closed at or near it, it's most likely going to try to rebound there. Typically.
Absolutely, and there's that golden little nugget of wisdom. Those previous closing levels can be like magnets. Markets have a funny way of saying, oh, we were comfortable here yesterday, let's just bounce around this line for a bit. So it's a good reminder for anyone trading shorter time frames. Those levels can be your little hints and clues. And hey, now we've got a nice sarcastic roadmap from long term to short term. Keep that in mind, and you're good to go.
You got any news feeds for us right now that you can kind of dig through and see if there's anything interesting going on?
That have so much blessing in their life, and they come to me with the same things the people who have nothing don't.
All right, hot off the virtual press. We've got the S&P and NASDAQ hitting new highs thanks to some cooler than expected inflation data. Basically, everyone's getting giddy about potential Fed rate cuts because why not add a little more fuel to the party, right? Of course, there are the usual voices of caution saying, hey, rate cuts might bring their own bag of surprises. And meanwhile, gold's just out here setting records too, because apparently shiny metal never goes out of style. So there you go. Little news sprinkle for you.
That little fairy dust to sprinkle, huh, motherfucker?
Exactly. Just a little fairy dust of market news to keep things interesting. I mean, what's a good financial chat without a sprinkle of sarcasm and a dash of the latest headlines, right? So there you go. Consider it sprinkled, and we'll keep rolling.
All right. Ask me another question then while we're at it.
You got it, Chuck. Let's keep the ball rolling. So let's flip it around. If you had to give one piece of snarky advice to someone brand new joining the Bag Brigade community, like a total beginner, what would be the first sarcastic warning or tip you'd give them about surviving in your world?
Surviving in my world? I don't know if anybody can survive in my world. I mean, the first piece of advice is I would say if you know nothing about, I mean, absolutely nothing. Definitely, if you're new, join the community, we have an education section, right? And it's got all sorts of, you know, about options. It's got psychology, you know, market psychology, risk management, common mistakes, chart patterns, things like that. And then I would advise them to open up a brokerage account and use what they call paper trading, where you get to practice and trade with fake money, and you can do that with stocks or options and even futures, and you can get used to everything. That way you don't make a mistake and lose actual money, and then when you feel comfortable you can transition over, right? You transition over to real money, but you just want to stay cautious. I mean, for instance, normally, like, whatever my portfolio size is, and I trade on multiple platforms. I trade all my options. I trade on Webull, and my long term and my futures trading is all done on Schwab Thinkorswim. Why do I do that? Well, I do not like to commingle my options trading with where my long term's at. Why? Because I don't want to skew its performance, because that will skew it. So I keep them separate. But anyways, that's besides what you're asking me. It's just go and watch any of the YouTube videos. They're all posted in the community. I do tutorials on all sorts of things. I mean,
absolutely.
Bonds. You need to watch gold. You need to watch the Japanese yen. Let's see. I mean, the dollar. Keep your attention to macroeconomics and global tensions and all sorts of things like that. I mean, I don't base my decisions on a trade or entry on a long-term position based on just looking at a chart. I 100% look at everything that else is going on. Okay, like all the macroeconomic data, earnings that are coming out, things like that. So, yeah, there you have it.
Exactly. That's the perfect newbie survival guide in a nutshell. Don't just stare at the chart like it's a crystal ball. Instead, actually pay attention to the bigger picture. Macro stuff, global shenanigans, currencies, bonds, all those fun ingredients that make the market soup. So yeah, That's the kind of sarcastic but solid advice for any broke soul diving into your world. And if they can survive that, well, they're probably in the right place.
Well, newcomers, I hope you can survive that. If there's anybody even watching this right now. Going live, I'm sorry, I had some mic issues, people, or whatever. So, yeah, I apologize. I do apologize about that. But anyways. Oh, shit. You're kidding me. Hold on.
The class.
What do they say? It's unlisted.
Yeah, gotta look those little surprises. Looks like the universe wanted to keep this one a secret show just between us. But hey, at least the new...
No, that's not necessarily true, bro. You don't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough, Chuck.
No, it's live. It's live. See, shut up.
Hey, there we go. See, it just needed a little push, and now the world can witness all the sarcasm in real time. So we're officially live, and anyone dropping in can just jump right into the fun. Let's roll with it.
Let's roll with it, right? All right, well, let's get this money too, right? So no warm-ups, we're jumping straight in. Market's throwing up signals like a dropped call, and it's all because of what number? Negative 0.1%. That's the PPI number that we got, the PPI index that we got this morning for August. That just hit the streets. So Wall Street was looking for a plus, I think, 0.3%, but not. Producers' prices took a nosedive. This ain't just a miss, it's a whole different play, if you think about it. And it's given the Fed a hall pass, in my opinion, to, I guess, cut rates. We see money move fast and hard in every direction at this point, and that's the game we're here to run down. So for the next, I don't know, however long I'm going to be on this, hour or so, while it's live, we're no looking back, no old news. This is the hunt right here. You got it, live and direct. We're going to chase the shockwaves of the PPI numbers, which obviously those have already taken effect at this point. Sorry for all the crap that I had to deal with earlier with my mic and all of that stuff, but I figured it out. Crypto, all of it. Shit. I mean, we're calling out levels that are the real MVPs here today. Spot in the place. I already showed some. I'll pull it up again. As they line up and calling the market's next move before it even knows it's making its fucking move. Forget the noise, people. Do not forget the noise. We only listen to the price action. So let's get to these charts popping and all that kind of stuff. So again, back to the PPI report. That's the whole story here and why the market's doing what it's doing. It's actually not doing anything right now. Because, in my opinion, it's a big mix between the revisions that we got yesterday versus the PPI numbers. And then tomorrow we get CPI, which is inflation data. So who knows? Tomorrow's going to be a big day. And I think the market's just hanging here, kind of just sitting still, waiting for that. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, I mean, the main event is going to be... this whole week's the main event. But the main event, like the finale, is going to be when the FOMC meeting is. When they do the SEC, the summary of economic... SEP, the summary of economic predictions, right? The dot plot and all that stuff. They cut rates and all this stuff. Which, in my opinion... I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I want to say that I don't believe they're going to cut, but I think it's all really going to come down to what the CPI print comes out to tomorrow. That's my opinion. I'm still holding still with that they're not going to cut. But that is going to be dependent on how CPI, because with PPI and the revisions together right now, I think that gives them a reason to cut. Now, it all depends on what CPI does, in my opinion, personally. Yeah. I mean, let's take a look and actually see what those numbers are. So if I were to go to tradingeconomics.com, this is what you can get this information right here. Go to calendar. I like to put it on 2 stars because some of this stuff doesn't mean a whole lot. And we want to put it on UTC. I believe it's 5. Yeah. Because that's Eastern Standard. So yeah, tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, forecast CPI, core inflation rate, month over month for August is forecasted to be 0.3%. Consensus 0.3%. Previously, the 1 month prior, 0.3%. Core inflation year over year for August, forecast 3.1. Consensus 3.1. Previous 3.1. Inflation rate month over month, that's core. Now, inflation rate, these are a little different. For August, there is 0.3% is the forecast. Consensus is 0.3%, and the previous was 0.2%. Now, inflation rate year over year, forecast 2.8, consensus 2.9, and previous was 2.7. So, and we also have initial jobless claims as well, coming out at the exact same time. We got a forecast of 240,000. Consensus is saying 235,000, while previously we had 237,000 last month. So we need to keep an eye on all of these numbers. If the number for any of these CPI numbers come in higher than they're forecasted or the consensus is, well, then yeah, I mean, the Fed probably is going to cut. If they come in lower, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So anyways, trading economics, there you go right there. It's happening on the anniversary, September 11th, actually, too. Any news here on Twitter? Let's see. No. Okay, breaking. President Trump after NATO jets down Russian drones over Poland. The clown show continues. Okay, Wells Fargo. Fed to cut rates 5 times by mid-2026. I think that's a little aggressive. That's how the market ends up crashing. And anything else of any importance here? Probably not. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Let's check real quick. Let's check the dashboard and see where the tide's at. And do a little refresh. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so we're still looking at. Yeah. Looks like. Yeah, it's calls are still leading the way pretty heavily here. Let's look at the options flow. Let's look at the unusual flow. Okay.
I'm sorry, but you've hit the daily limit for advanced voice.
Oh my god, get the hell out of here.
So yeah, do good. And again,
anyways,
drive those money changers out, bro. Watch what your mind does. Watch what your intentions.
So yeah, this is the unusual options flow right now that's coming through. It looks like, we got a big one right here. The SPX 500 call for January 16, 2026. $404 million in premium. I wonder what that could be. Why would somebody... Because look, first of all, where's SPX trading right now, right? You got to think about this for a second, right? It's trading at 65.30. So a 5,000 call strike, that's so deep in the money, and they spent $404 million on this. That is obviously 100%. That is a hedge fund, or that is an institution that is definitely hedging themselves because they're obviously doing something on the opposite end. You're not going to see that. That is very abnormal. That's not like that's why it's called unusual option flow. I can filter this out for big data, or big moves like that. Minimum premium bought, 150 million, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's see. All right. They're all SPX calls. They were all bought today. And some of these are shorter dated, some of these are longer dated ones, but they're all the 5,000 strike except for the 4,000 strike call, which is even more in the money, and they spent $508,000 in premium on it. That's a hedge fund. These are all hedge fund plays right here. They are all hedge fund plays, and they're all on SPX. So anyways, to get away from that, let's go to the signals. These are day trade signals, everybody. So right now, the most current signal is SPX or SPY, whatever. You got IWM in here. These are 5-minute candles. So basically, it's telling you on IWM, it needs to be, entry point needs to be 236.23 to go for short position on it. On a 5-minute candle, right? These are day trading signals. So IWM, which is the Russell 2000 small cap ETF, and it said 236.23. Okay, it's not there yet, and we want it on a 5-minute candle to close below. See, it hit it. It basically like hit that level and bounced. So, anyways, I'm just giving you an idea, and then it will tell you your take profits. 3 levels of them: 235.99, 235.77, 235.54, and then your stop loss would be 236.47 if it were to come on against you. That's how you read these signals. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Wild shit. Let's see. More skews. Let's look at a 15-minute chart. So it's hovering at its closing level from yesterday.
I'm just gonna cut my dick off. I know it's a metaphor
Hovering
in an
there.
allegory, but that's what I would do. So do you not get it? Oh, amen. So yeah, seek the Lord.
And I don't know how many people tuned in for this, but I do appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this for now. So, again, I appreciate anybody who actually decided to tune in this and listen to me ramble on. But catch me in the Discord server if you want. Let me see something real quick. Before I go, I must say,
so if I'm fake, come and get me now. It's not a big head, I just know the size of the crown. You watched a lot of porn. Does it look like I'm fucking around? You didn't like me then, I didn't hope that you would like me now. You want peace, I want it too.
Okay.
You want war, I got a crew. But I won't lie, dog, I only need a few. So tell me what you really want to do, man. I swear I'm just like you, cause the tongue brings life, but it brings death too. Please just move.
alright, gang.
Good advice is never taken.
Hopefully these will be better next time.
Look at life
Oh,
like a mechanic, look at tubes. Cheap, fast, and quiet.
see you on the next one.